Our next address is from Craig Nicol, Chair of the Advanced Materials and Battery Council and Managing Director of the AMBC, of the Graphene Manufacturing Group. It is the vision of our founding members and others that is driving the AMBC and the sector forward. Over to you, Craig.
Good morning all. I acknowledge Pro Vice-Chancellor Research, Professor Rachel Parker. Also acknowledge Director General, Graphene. I really do like Nimrod. I think that sounds a whole lot better. So Director General of Nimrod. I also acknowledge the traditional landholders, future, past and present, and the academics in the room. Thank you for attending. Government officers, thank you for attending. Most importantly, I thank the scientists and engineers in the room, because you're our future. Even if you're at university, thank you for attending. And thank you for the commercial entrepreneurs, because without you, it doesn't happen. The advanced materials and battery sector, and therefore the council, has had a very successful year. The AMBC was born from the opportunity we all see to develop a battery supply chain ecosystem in Australia from the opportunity the energy transition provides. The endless knocking on doors, walking the halls of power, and the strength of a collective voice has seen the last 12 months reward our members with numerous wins. In April, the Queensland Battery Industry Strategy was launched with over $500 million to the sector. The National Battery Strategy launch, which has included another $500 million a few months later. These strategies are integrated with other plans, including Queensland Industry and Jobs Plan and the Future Made in Australia, and other renewable investment schemes that total billions of dollars. So far, there is over $130 million being distributed from the Queensland Government and more from federal schemes, many of that to our members. The total package promises to deliver billions of dollars to the sector in the form of grants, loans, tax breaks, and training assistance. It shows what a unified position across the sector can do and speaks to the success of our grouping. The AMBC can take a large amount of credit for these government initiatives. There is a strong correlation between AMBC submissions and outcomes. Governments are to be congratulated for their action, albeit a little slower than we like, and the members should take pride in these outcomes. Implementation of the strategies is ongoing. New policy issues are emerging and governments change. In meetings with the AMBC before the election, the Queensland LNP said it would keen to support manufacturing resources and batteries, so we don't expect drastic changes with the new government. The Australian Battery Industrialisation Centre, as described by Queensland Government, and the Australian Battery Precinct, as described by the federal government, are key pieces of battery industry growth policy for both governments, and one of the key policy elements that our members want to see implemented, but the pace of progress has been slower than expected and needed by all involved. The AMBC continues to lobby about how important the centre is to allow battery development in Australia. We informed this to the federal government and the LNP before the election that this is top priority, and they have listened. We will need to remind them, but we will need to keep to provide assistance support where we can as well, as BICs, or Battery Innovation Centres, or Battery Industrial Centres, are definitely not simple to implement, especially as we want this to have a multi-technology focus, which will probably be the only one of its type in the world. The right signals to incentivise long-duration energy storage and a proper effort to lower the cost of flow batteries for this purpose is important. Which brings me to other major milestones for the AMBC this year and the evolution of the organisation. This year we employed our first CEO, Quentin, who has just walked out of the room, has brought experience and understanding of the challenges our members face raising capital and keeping the projects going. It is a wide brief, thank you Quentin, to get across, and we are seeing positive signs. We look forward to more progress next year. We have recently gained Rio Tinto as a partner member, as well as QUT, amongst others, and look forward to continue to build our profile, our effectiveness and value for our members, and thereby attract additional members to the organisation to help with the challenges ahead. We also welcome Shannon Willoughby from UQ and Mel Nikolic from QUT to the board, and the significant contributions that they'll undoubtedly make. Importantly though, it is the members' contributions and participation that will make us a stronger organisation, and I encourage you all to continue this as we build the AMBC into the preeminent association in advanced materials and batteries across Australia. If you are not a member as well, please talk to Quentin today. Before I close my speech out, I want to mention the elephant in the room and bring up the recent financial closing down of Redflow after appointing administrators earlier this year. Redflow was an AMBC member from the beginning of this council. The CEO was a valued contributor to this forum, and I can say that I personally miss his and his team's feedback in discussions. In their last annual report, Redflow, a 20-year battery company, had over $20 million of sales orders in hand. And this was seemingly caught in a bear capital market, exactly the wrong time to seek funding for expansion. In a recent discussion with one New York banker, he said to me, "Batteries are where capital goes to die right now. And there are liars, damn liars, and battery companies." This is the way the financial market sees the industry globally right now. This is after almost every battery development company in the US lost over 90% of their market value in the last financial year. It is a very tough capital market right now for battery companies. So what can we learn from this? Battery development is very difficult. And if there's anyone here who's smiling whilst they're battery developing, you ain't battery developing, because it is so difficult. Battery development is so difficult, and their long development cycle, often through multiple cycles, make financial market conditions at the wrong time almost guaranteed. This is a deadly mix. Government and partner support is really important to develop a strong battery industry, and I can tell you this is why the Chinese battery industry is now so strong. They had both of these. Even the largest battery company in the world went through this deadly cycle and has their own story of how they came out of it to now make 34% of the world's batteries 13 years later. So we need to bring academia, industry, and government together as strongly as we can to fight through this cycle, because it can even finish a company with $20 million of sales orders. So why do I have hope for the Australian critical minerals and battery industry? Australia is like no other country in the world, and I think we all need to understand that. We are beautifully hedged, with Western Australia already selling $26 billion of critical minerals last year, mainly to lithium-ion battery companies. And almost all of Eastern Australia is focused on new technologies, some of them clearly leading the world, including aluminium HPA, vanadium flow, lithium sulfur, graphene aluminium-ion batteries, to name a few. So we are beautifully hedged with old technologies and new technologies all in one country. And a recent, very large company named globally asked us, why does Australia not do more than what it does when you have everything in your hands? So looking forward, we will move with a new board, but one with the co-founders of the council, Dr. Lynette Molyneux, who was just leaving right now as well. I've got great timing. Moving on. Sorry. So I would like to take the time to thank Lynette and the University of Queensland for her monumental efforts in helping conceive and form the AMBC. Many of you will know that she's taking a well-earned break at the end of the year and will leave us for a while. I will miss you, Lynette, on a personal basis, and always enjoyed hearing your point of view and how we need to push harder and work faster to move the industry forward. The conversations we've had often how journey was the same as a battery industry startup. Her commitment to excellence and the drive for the AMBC is exactly why we are here. So from the bottom of my heart and from all the members, thank you, Lynette, for your leadership to get us here. Here's something we have for you to say thanks.